Hey everyone, Monkeigh here, and in this video I have a really cool trick that I'm going to show you which will help you to get your first pick of any vehicle you want at the start of every game in Battlefield 1. So as most of you know, my channel is all about helping you to get better at your favorite games, and when it comes to Battlefield 1, having access to the vehicles is key to getting on the top of the leaderboard. Now if you're like me, this is a familiar scenario to you. You just finished playing a game of Battlefield 1, you're scrolling through the after action stats and the next game's about to start. But when it loads, you realize you're one of the last ones to join in, and all the vehicles are already taken, and everybody is already halfway to capturing the first flag. This is extremely frustrating, and if it's happened to you, you might be saying, well, it's probably just my slow internet. But actually, internet speed is not the problem. I have fiber optic internet, and still am one of the last people to load every single game. So after a bit of research, I found a solution that eliminates the load time entirely and guarantees I am the first person to join the match every single time. This gives me about 10 to 15 seconds to select any vehicle I want before anyone else is even in the match and has a chance to select a vehicle of their own. This fast load trick works on every single map, every single time, and only takes a few minutes to implement once you have the equipment to do it. It will work on both Xbox and PlayStation 4, and it will absolutely not get you banned. It doesn't involve rewriting code or installing complex software mods. Instead, it comes down to a very simple tweak in how you run the game. Both the Xbox and PlayStation 4 come stock with a 500GB SATA 2 hard drive, and each are rated to spin at 5400 RPM. I found some benchmark tests of the stock Xbox One drive and have put them on screen. With an average data read speed of less than 90 megabytes per second, there is a lot of room for improvement here. So I decided to try an experiment. I had recently upgraded the hard drive in one of my computers, and as a result I had a spare 2TB 7200 RPM hard drive laying around. So I went out and I bought a hard drive enclosure for around $30 and plugged it into my Xbox to use as a second external hard drive. After formatting the hard drive and moving Battlefield 1 from the internal stock drive to my new 7200 RPM hard drive, I immediately noticed a big difference. Games were loading faster and I was no longer one of the last people to join the game. I had cut my game load time down from over 35 seconds to only about 15. This was a huge improvement, but I decided to see just how fast I could go. So the next day, I went ahead and ordered a brand new Samsung solid-state drive. This new drive had a read speed of over 5 times faster than the stock Xbox One hard drive. When I got it set up, the load time literally disappeared. As soon as the countdown timer ended between matches, I was in the game. I now had at least 15 seconds to select any vehicle I wanted before anyone else even joined the match. If you would like to do this trick on your own, here is a list of what you'll need. The hard drive you select must be at least 256GB in size for the Xbox One to allow you to save games to it. If you're on PlayStation 4, you'll want to go with at least 500GB or larger. If you choose to go with a disk drive, it must spin at least 7200 RPM, and any external drive or drive enclosure you pick must be USB 3 compatible. Doing this on PlayStation 4, you're going to be replacing the actual internal drive itself, so you've got to go with a smaller 2.5-inch size. However, on Xbox One, we're going to be using this as an external drive, so the 2.5-inch or 3.5-inch drive, it doesn't matter. Now, some of you might have a drive that meets these specs already laying around, but if you don't, you can pick up one that meets the minimum specs on eBay for around $40 to $50. If you decide to go with a solid-state drive, just make sure to pick up a SATA USB cable as well. The one I'm using is half a terabyte, and altogether I paid just over $100. Once you have your drive selected, you'll follow one of these two guides depending on which console you're using. The Xbox One is extremely simple. Just plug the drive in and follow the prompts to format it. Once it has been formatted, go to Settings, then Storage, then move your copy of Battlefield 1 to the new external drive. On PlayStation 4, the process is a bit more time-consuming, but still not too bad. You'll be replacing the internal drive itself because PlayStation does not allow you to store games on external drives. So the first thing you'll want to do is create a backup of your existing hard drive. You can do this by going into Settings. Once your backup is complete, you will slide off the plastic panel on the top left of the PlayStation 4 and physically swap out the drives. From here, all you'll have to do is reinstall the firmware and restore your backup to the new hard drive. I've placed some links down in the description with where you can download the latest PS4 firmware, as well as a more detailed video tutorial showing exactly how to remove the PlayStation 4's original hard drive. With this simple trick, you will consistently be the first person to load into every game, allowing you to always get the vehicle of your choice. If you're ready to take your Battlefield 1 game to the next level, I recommend you check out the Ultimate Utility app for your smartphone. It's easy to use and has tons of helpful features and tips for improving your scores. Plus, the app has a great community of players and tools for finding squad mates or starting a clan. I've gone ahead and placed a link in the description so you can go ahead and check it out whenever you're done with this video.